Hey, we have officially started our exam week. We are almost actually done with our exam week. We started Friday of last week and it's running Friday last week, Monday of this week, and then we'll finish it up. We did some yesterday and then we'll finish it up today. So it has been a good experience. The exams have gone mostly well. This is our first exam week, and so they did make mention that you will have some like learning with your kids along the way on the fact that the retention is important. And with that, you can definitely see some stories that were older stories and how my daughter may have forgotten some of those, and some of our newer stories are really fresh and she has a lot to say in her exams. So it's been a mixed bag. But some things I'm learning from this that the CMEC and generally Charlotte Mason does encourage is notebooking. Notebooking is super important. I would have, bet that wouldn't have been that big of a deal. We sometimes notebook, sometimes we don't, and generally the things that were notebooked stuck. And so what I am doing for this term is I had a binder with a lot of loose leaf paper in it. Yeah, okay, in 1 second. With a lot of loose leaf paper in it, and we would just write in there, and it was kind of just a jumble of entries, which is fine, except that I think it helps to be able to look back and see and make connections within the subject itself, as well as the general across subjects. So I think it will go a little bit easier. So what I set up for this next term is individual notebooks for the different subjects, not per book. So like our literature is all in one, which will have our fairy tales, 50 famous stories, and Winnie the Pooh for this term. And so those will be the different books that will go into our literature section that she will get to notebook. So I did set those up. We had purchased these cute little notebooks off of Amazon that are really small, and they are just cardboard front. And so we were able to do one of our handicrafts this term. My daughter, I wrote this out and drew it out, and then helped with making the holes because it was initially a little hard to push through, but then she went through and picked out the different colors she wanted to use and did all the actual embroidery on there. And so that's one thing I'm doing different. Another thing I'm doing different is I had one big teacher binder that kind of had all my ideas and discussion questions and things like that. Instead, this time I broke them out into little comb bound quote unquote guides for myself that tells me what area of reading we want to be doing. It has some pictures that I can show, maps and things like that just in there directly. And so I have those for different books or subjects, depending on if the subjects are going to go to the books are going to go together over the years, or if they kind of get off of each other, so that I can just keep these for the future years too. So Book of Indians is always a Form 1 book, but it may not actually mesh up with when we do Eggleston. So I put Eggleston on its own, but these Dolaire supplements go with Eggleston in year 1. So they can all go in one binder, if that makes sense. One little book. So that's how I'm setting up for next term to see if that works a little bit better. The end of term is a great time to reflect. And I have found that has been wonderful because we've been able to see what is working, what isn't working, what could I tweak a little bit. I'm not overhauling our entire thing, but we're going to just do a little bit different. And this has been great for us to step back, reflect, and then move forward. So hopefully at the end of your first section of school, whether you do quarters or terms or whatever, you take some time to go back and reflect and work through the different things that have not maybe been working 100% and could use a little tweaking, or what has been working, and celebrate those wins. And whatever's really not working, you know, now's the time to change. So we are very thankful for our first term to be done, and really excited to start on term 2. We're doing weaving, which my daughter has done like loom work previously, but she's excited to make this woven rug. And she's been asking, when can I make the rug? When can I make the rug? Because we bought the supplies a few weeks ago. And so it's fun to switch up handicrafts and art focus, because we're switching from our brush drawing to chalk drawing. And I think she'll like that. And then third term, we're going to do some clay work. And so we're just really excited to get a little bit of freshness while still having some of the stability of the rest of the work we've been doing and pushing through in those books, and enjoying those books and getting to the really getting into them now. So it's been great. We're looking forward to the next term, which we will start in December. So we kind of decided, you know, our terms will run August, September, October, November will be term 1. Then December, January, February, March will be term 2. And then April, May, June, July will be term 3. And that helps us to take some breaks for canning and planting and all of the homesteady life that kind of comes at us, so that we can work around the things we need to. So hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully you're having a good exam week and enjoying the work ahead of you. All right, have a good one.